Okay folks, it's been a while, so I'm back with another video. Thank you for coming. Today we're going to talk about plexiglass. Yes, I know in my other videos I've called it plexiglass, but there is an L in there. There's an L in there that's it's called plexiglass, and we're talking about plexiglass today because of the overlays. ARCADE1UP is no longer offering the overlays for free on their website. The time for that is over. They are now charging about $16 per overlay. You get the overlay and the extra decal part. Not decal, I don't want to say decal, but it's like another print of the graphics of the whatever ARCADE1UP you are putting an overlay on. You'll get the an extra over graphic part, but that's not the issue here. The issue is they're charging about $16 for the plexi overlay alone, and about $12 to $13 for shipping. So that's about $25 for that piece alone, which I'm a little upset about, when it should be included in the second wave of the ARCADE1UPs. But they did promise that they were making their boards, their controller boards, a little more sturdier, where it won't wear off as easy. I'm doing this cabinet for a good friend of mine, and what I did was I did a clear coat on it. I sprayed clear coat gloss on it, so that it's going for a friend of mine who has children, and I don't want it to wear off as they constantly play. This is the clear coat by Rust-Oleum that I sprayed on there. I did about 2 or 3 coats of it. Clear coat. It's for furniture, wood, metal, plastic, masonry. I did about 2 or 3 coats on it. It looks good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I like it. But I didn't feel comfortable with just that alone, because of the fact that this is going to somebody who has children. So I went to Lowe's and I purchased a sheet of plexiglass called OPTIX. OPTIX, if I'm pronouncing that right. It's 28 inches by 30 inches, 0.80 inch thick, I guess. Let me zoom that in so you can see that. If you go to Lowe's, they will cut it for you to size. With this sheet, I was able to get 3 pieces. So I have enough to do 3 other controller boards if I need to. That's a total of about $75 that Lowe's is saving me just by getting their plexiglass and having them cut it for me. I only had them cut it to square size. They couldn't do the holes. They couldn't do the grooves for the controller board. So what I'm doing right now is I put these clamps on so that I could take a Sharpie and mark down where the holes go. So I'm going to attempt to cut the holes myself. We're going to do this together and see how it comes out. I have an idea that it may not be that bad. I know people are scared to cut plexiglass with any type of tools. What I'm going to use is my trusty DREMEL. I'm very comfortable using my DREMEL for the simple fact that it doesn't crack or chip plexi. It actually, if you use it at a good speed, it'll actually melt its way through, making whatever you cut or want to cut. I have it on a rotary tool, so I plan to we're gonna do this step by step. Hopefully I'll narrate myself in the video while I'm doing this so you can see what I'm doing. But I have faith in my Dremel skills. I have this I have an extra piece on the side that I'm gonna practice on first before I take it to video. That way I don't mess anything up. I have an extra piece here that I'm gonna take it to Dremel and take it to drill press, and hopefully test my theory out and make sure nothing goes wrong on the final cuts. But for now, we're not gonna do any cutting. We're gonna do just marking. I'm gonna take a Sharpie and mark the holes on the plexiglass where the cuts have to go. So I'm gonna take a nice trusty permanent Sharpie. I'm gonna take a fine point, and I'm gonna take a regular Sharpie, and we're gonna mark this up and see how we do. So let's flip this bad boy over. We're gonna mark the edges over here that we want to do. I'm going to get a couple of clamps. Let me get 2 baby clamps for that, so that we the plastic does not move. I have 2 baby clamps here that I could use, and we're gonna press these on the corner here so that I can mark, that I could Dremel, not Dremel, so that I can mark with the Sharpie, so that we have all the lines we need to have. So when we do take it to cut, we have all the marks we need. Okay, so let's mark this one off with the Sharpie. It's okay if we mark the wood, because nobody's gonna see that area. This is just so that I can mark the plastic, do a nice good trace on the plastic. Okay, I am writing on the wood, but like I said, nobody sees that area. And once I do this one, this will be my template for all the other ones. So the sacrifice that this controller board is taking for the marks will be the sacrifice for good. There we go, we got that. I'm gonna attempt to go in the circles with my my fine point Sharpie and see if I get that done good, so that I could get a good circle look of where those are going. I did not do too good with that. I think it's better off with the thicker Sharpie. One thing when you're tracing, if you're doing an inside circle, you cut on the outside or get as close as you can to the outside. Okay, there's also a groove on these controller boards that you'll notice when we cut, but I'm just marking down the inside of the circle so that I know more or less where I'm gonna put my my cutter, or where am I gonna go with the Dremel, because I'm not gonna do a precise cut with my cutter. I'll explain as I go along. I'm just trying to mark these down as best as I can. I have a good theory that this will come out a little bit good. You know, we're not looking to do exactly like the overlays from ARCADE1UP. I'm looking to do at least the size of the buttons, so that the overlay can fall underneath the button, not over the button. I never liked that aspect, even though I do. Well, I don't longer have it no more. But I never liked the overlay aspect that ARCADE1UP did. So I just wasn't too happy with that, with the fact that the buttons were oversized, like the circles were oversized of the button. I never liked that. I didn't like the way that was. It was just stupid. It's bad choice, like last minute choice decision on ARCADE1UP, just to correct the problem on paint wear on these controller boards. So either way, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna see how good this comes out. I'm not worrying about all the markers, all the Sharpie marking I'm doing inside the control board, because like I said, all of that gets hidden with the button. And it'll be just fine. I don't see no reason that it wouldn't be fine. This will probably serve as a template. This one's probably gonna go on this actual board, but I could definitely use it as a template to do all the other ones, which would be good. I'm marking around. I have a theory there that when I go to cut these, you know, I'm not going to go too crazy. I don't want to break it. I don't want to crack the plexiglass. It'll be just a waste of money. Now I'm leaving the last two buttons for last because of the fact that I realized after I put the plexi on the inside that the two buttons that I made on the on and off switch and the volume, the two circles I made, they're concaved inside, so I can't really do the circle for those until the end, where I actually get all of these perfectly done, and then I'll put this on the outside with a couple of buttons to hold it in place, and then I'll trace it out and do that cut for that, and definitely get that done the right way. But I'm missing one circle there. Let me do that last one, and then we'll take it to cut and see how that works. Any marks that I leave on the plexiglass, I'm not stressing either, because it cleans right off with alcohol. So let me double check. I got all the circles done. We got 3 here, 6 here with the controller, 6 here with the controller, and the player 1, player 2. All right, these are good. Let's take this apart. Put all my clamps aside. These things are also available on Arbor Freight. These clamps, I'll leave a link in the website. Damn it. No, I shouldn't have done that. The heavier duty clamp, the more heavier duty clamps left a mark, they rub right off. Yeah, that's good. They rub right off. Alright, cool. Alright. So there. We take the controller board, and here are the circles. I'll put the controller board aside for now. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut on the other side where the film is on, so we don't scratch up the plexi. And we're definitely going to put a piece of cardboard or something there. Now what I'm going to attempt to use is this hole saw kit that I bought on Amazon. Okay. Now this hole saw kit comes in a lot of different sizes. 16 piece actually. It comes in a lot of sizes, and I'm going to use it without the drill bit. We're going to do it without the drill bit so that we could just do a plain cut on there. And I'm not going to try to be well, I'm going to try to do as best as I can. I'm going to attempt to do one sheet on the practice sheet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the circle oversized from the marking. It is better to go on this bigger than smaller, for the simple fact that If I go smaller, I would have to go and Dremel out the I would have to Dremel out the circle just to clean it up, and I don't want to do that because I'm not too sure of how perfect that circle might be. But it we'll check it out. I'll do smaller. I'll attempt these two sizes and see how that comes out. And like I said, I have a plastic practice sheet that I'm gonna do. So we're gonna put this one aside for now because this is it's gonna be the final one. So I got this plastic practice sheet. Let's bring back the board, and I'm not gonna clamp anything down because I don't need to clamp it. I'm just gonna put it on top of it for now. As a matter of fact, let me just position it and do the lighter clamp because the heavier clamp left a little marking. So I don't want to do that again, which was stupid. All right, let's do that way. And that's the way I should have done it in the first place, but it's fine. Let's just mark these. Let's mark a couple of circles so that I can just test my theory and see how good this comes out. Let's see how good this comes out. Okay, I did about 2 circles there. I did the controller and a button circle. They're about the same size. I might hit this with another clear coat. Let's see. But it's good to go. We did 2 circles there. Okay. So we're gonna go with the I'm gonna go with the smaller size first and test that out. Okay, and we're gonna use this without the drill bit because I don't want to make a center circle with the drill bit. Sometimes using a drill bit cracks the plexiglass. This might even crack it also. Like I said, this is just a practice theory, and we're gonna test it out and see what happens. We're gonna definitely see what happens, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna place this on my drill press and see how good it comes out. Take it nice and slow. And take it from there. Let me pause the video while I set everything up, and then we'll go back to the we'll go to the drill press. Okay, so what I've decided to do first is cut out the edges for the control panel. It's got like a T-type cut or something like that, an L-shaped cut here. So I'm gonna do that first because it would be pointless for me to cut all the holes out, and then when I go to cut this with the jigsaw, it cracks or something like that, and then I have to start all over. So let's do the simple things first and get that out the way. What I'm using is a Blade Runner by Rockwell. It was a gift by my wife. So what we're gonna do is also I'm using a fine metal cutting blade on there, and we're gonna do this nice and slow. Again, when you're doing tracing, when you do a trace on certain that you want it to fit, you want to cut as close to the inside as you can, and it's better to just sand down a little if you have to with the Dremel. But we're gonna do this cut here, and I'll fast forward the video so you don't hear the sound of the saw. But I'm gonna do a nice fine cut. Make sure you use safety goggles. I got glasses on right now. Also, make sure you have some protection on your hands. You don't want to cut yourself and get hurt. I'm not liable for anything you guys do wrong here. But we're going to do a nice simple cut here. This is going to be a little loud. I'll fast forward through this. I like to shut it off so I don't break anything on the way back in and out. It's a nice cut there. I'm still using the still got the protection on this, so so I'm not scratching anything. Plexi will fly all over the place, so you want to be careful with that. Let me back up a little here. I'll do a nice slow cutting, nothing crazy, taking my time. Nice L-shaped cut there. I might have to hit that with the Dremel. Let me just clean it a little bit more. Nice clean shape, nice cut. I might have to hit that with the Dremel just to sand it down a little to make it nice and neater. But that's fine. With the Dremel, at least I have more control. Let's do the other side. Start with the smaller side first, smaller cut first. There you go, nice clean cut. I like that. Let's do the longer side, and then we're done on this. There you go, nice clean L-shaped cuts. And we got a little pieces there left over. Like I said, I used a fine metal blade to cut fine metal. I think we did pretty good. It'll fit nice. Let's get started on those circles and see how that comes out. Okay. Okay, so we cut off the L shape, and what I did off camera is I did a test cut with the with a different drill bit cutter there that I have, and I have to say it came out pretty good. The ones that I was gonna use, they were dancing a little and they made the hole a little too big. So with the one I have there, the replacement there, the circle comes out perfect and the button fits perfectly. I know I marked everything down with the Sharpie, and that was kind of a little premature doing. I think it's easier to just leave it on the actual control board and just slowly do my cuts by guiding the bit down each time. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna slowly do each cut and hopefully get a nice decent cut here on each circle. I put a plank of a little piece of wood underneath so that the metal does not hit the other metal on here. So we're gonna do a nice cut straight down, and we're gonna definitely test everything out and see how this works out. We're gonna take it nice and slow, nothing too crazy. I'm gonna put the bit in first through the hole so that I'm not ruining anything or messing anything up, and then from there we'll take it, we'll cut through and see how everything goes. Let's go. And you can feel it as I cut. I can feel it as I cut and see that I hit the plastic just fine, and no markings, no nothing. It does a nice clean cut. Now I'm gonna fast forward the video so that I could give all my attention to this, and then we'll look at the final results. For each cut, you're gonna have to take like a small screwdriver and remove the plastic that's inside the drill bit. So I'm gonna look for that now. Also, it's good to have a garbage can near you so that you could clean off the area for each cut. Lost my screwdriver there. Let me take something to pry that plastic off. And just take your time. You don't have to go crazy and just factory cut everything all at once. Just take your time and feel out each cut. You know, and if you have to move your clamps, move your clamps. But take your time. Definitely go slowly. I'm gonna fast forward this video so that I can concentrate on each cut and when I'm done, we'll look at the results. Unfortunately, my drill press is very limited on space, so I was only able to cut as much as I can with the drill press, which is pretty good. I still have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 more holes, and it's looking nice the way I'm doing it. So what I might do is I might move the bit to a hand drill and continue to cut with that, keeping this clamped down all around. So I'm gonna move the bit to a clamp and then take it from there. And I'm gonna keep these clamps on here so that we don't lose any type of movement, and we stay within the spacing of where we at. So let me pause the video for a second. Move everything. Like I said, I'm gonna move the bit to a clamp and make sure I don't lose any movement here. You don't want to move the plexiglass and be off anywhere. Woo. Got pieces of flying still around, which is good. Once I clean it, once I take everything off, everything will be good. Just I got plastic all over the place. I don't want to take it all apart and then I'll be off a little bit. But I think we're doing good. I'm going to put everything on the... damn it. See some movement there. Let me see if I could... Let me check something here with a button. Make sure. Oh, we're still good. Alright, so we're still good. Everything's still lining up. Good. Everything's still good. Okay, good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move everything to a drill, a hand drill, and just take it from there and hopefully put everything on a cardboard on the floor, and we'll cut like that. Do the last 6 holes and take it from there. Okay? And then hopefully clean all this up. Let me pause the video and okay, so what I did is I prepped everything on top of a toolbox with a cardboard underneath and the plexiglass and the wood panel. I transferred the bit to a hand drill, a DeWalt hand drill, and I'm going to apply some pressure here, and I'm going to hopefully get this cut the same way as I would on a drill press with very little movement. I got the cardboard underneath so that it catches anything that has to be done. And let's see. I'm not comfortable with this, to be honest. I like the feel of the drill bit, the drill press. Yeah, I think the drill press is way much better than doing it this way. But because I'm limited on space, I have to. Yeah, I don't like this at all. I don't want to crack it. At least with the drill press, I had more pressure. Don't want to. Yep, there's already a crack. I did not like that at all. You see, I didn't want to do this. I was more comfortable with the drill press. At least the drill press had more pressure on there. Didn't want to do this at all. Crap. Okay, so we're back. And I did my best that I could with the plexiglass. I'm seeing a couple of little light cracks here and there. A couple of hairline cracks on some of the circles, unfortunately. But other than that, I think it came out pretty good. I did the L-shaped cut. I may have to sand it down a little bit with the Dremel, just to clean it up a little. And I'll probably use my my basic Dremel, nothing too crazy, the one from Harbor Freight. And we'll do that right now, just to sand down a couple of spots with the Dremel, so that it could have a nice clean fit when I put it on. What you want to do is you want to go over as much as you can so you don't see the line of the marker no more. That you know. That you got it all out. That you did your nice clean Dremel there. I think that's good on that end. I'm not going to go through the circles with the Dremel because I don't know what I need done, because I haven't gotten all the buttons yet. Once I get the buttons, I'll definitely go through that. I'm gonna use my main Dremel very lowly, because I gotta hit that corner. So we're gonna use the main Dremel. I have like a cuttery bit on here, but I thought I was gonna use this to make the circles, but I didn't. So we're gonna go very lightly. Nothing too crazy. Nothing. Just to hit that corner. Nothing nuts. To the other side. Hit that corner a little. There you go. Also, what I want to do is I want to round out these corners on the plexiglass. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the baby Dremel with that. I didn't want to do that strong one on there because I get it'll slip a little. So let me wow, I'm seeing a lot of hairline cracks, and it's pissing me off. I might not even do this. I might not even gonna do this. I think the movement of the plexiglass is causing the hairline cracks along the edges. So let me just sand this down with the Dremel. Just make a roundabout. See a nice little round. Go on the other side. Hit that corner. Just to take it, give it a round edge. And that's it. That's all I want to do. I'm seeing a lot of hairline cracks on the circles. I won't know until I take all this off. This plastic off, and I won't take the plastic off until I get the buttons. So what we'll do is we'll set this aside for now and see how it works out. I don't think I want to give him this, unfortunately. I did give the control panel another clear coat. And I think that's really all I want to do for now, so let's see what happens. That's it. Let's pause this for now. Okay, so I'm back, and with the suggestion of a representative or salesperson at Home Depot, he suggested that I do painter's tape double layer on top of the plexiglass so that I won't get spider webbing when I do the cutting with the drill bit. I also went out to Home Depot and got a Milwaukee drill bit. Let me show you right now. Let me clean it up actually. Okay, so with the suggestion of the Home Depot gentleman by the name of Anthony, he suggested I double tape the plexiglass with painter's tape. So I went and got a roll of painter's tape at Home Depot. Nice wide row so I could do at least 2 layers across, about 2 times. Definitely got that done. So after that, I also brought, I also asked him what would be the best drill bit that I could use to cut the plexi and not get so much spider webbing. And he was very hesitant to, you know, to give me something, but he did suggest this Milwaukee hole cutter. Okay, it's a 29 millimeter 1 1/8 inch. It's the perfect size. I didn't use the drill bit in the middle. I took that out. I just used the cutter, the hole cutter itself with the attachment. Ran it through the drill press. Did as many holes as I could with the drill press because of the distance of the holes that needed to get hit and the drill press. So I'm looking to get a new drill press later on. I was able to do at least a lot of them. I think I got left with 5 holes that I had to do manually by hand, and that's very scary and tedious. So I had some assistance with my wife, and she helped me, you know, take it nice and slow through the process so that I don't get no spider webbing. Now, as you can see from the tape, I already did peel it open because I got a little excited. I wanted to see how it looks. So I'm going to do it again here with you guys on camera, and we're going to peel this off. Okay, I already peeled the other side, and as I can see, I did all the cuts that I had to do, even the speaker cuts and the screw cuts, but those I did not with a drill or a drill bit. I did those with my Dremel. There was like a grinder there that I used, and it just melted right through, which was really good. So that came out pretty nice. I don't know if you guys could see any of this because of the reflection. Let me see if I can put my hand in front of it. Maybe some blue. Hold on. Let me get the blue. So you guys can see. You see, I cut it. I cut the speaker holes the same pattern as the original. I used the controller board to do a lot of tracing. I know that was crazy, but what I did was I took a plywood and I made myself a stencil. Let me get that. While I'm making myself a stencil, I just gotta finish cutting the other holes by hand. And I made myself a plywood stencil of the overlay so that if I have to do another overlay, I don't have to use the controller board to mark out the holes. I already did it in a plywood. Oh, you can see better here. I did the speaker holes also. That I did do with a drill press with the drill, a step bit. I might have to clean that up a little bit with a drill bit, but I did those with the step bit from Harbor Freight. I used the Milwaukee drill bit to do the bigger holes, and like I said, I got to do 5 by hand because of the distance of the drill press. but I'm hoping for Father's Day I get one. I get a new one, so that'd be good. But this is what the template looks like. I'm gonna use this aside if I have to do another plexi for somebody. Like I said, Arbor ARCADE1UP is just charging ridiculously just for shipping, and then the plexi itself. I mean, it's a great quality plexi. It's worth at least $20, but it should be free shipping. This I bought a big sheet for like $25, and I got 3 out of them. My first 2 attempts were horrible. I didn't use the tape. I didn't use a DC drill hole cutter. And everything just seemed to get nasty. My first attempt, I had a lot of spider webbing in the circles, and that was horrible looking. My second attempt, I tried to do it with the Dremel by hand, and do out the circles until I got to the lines, and my hands were too shaky, so I didn't, I didn't like the look of that, and that was horrible. But this one came out pretty good. I did the hole saw cutter by Milwaukee. I'll leave a link at the bottom. I did that, with the drill press. Slowly, you slowly go down. You put another plank of wood underneath, like another spare piece of wood, so that you have a nice flat cut and a nice good press. And you go down, and you clean it every time you do a cut. You gotta clean. You gotta take all the plexiglass particles out of the way. You gotta make every cut has to have a nice clean flat surface, so there's no spider web cutting. There's no spider webbing and nothing. I mean, this came out pretty good for my try. I'm gonna put this on the controller board and make sure all the holes line up. Hopefully, I'll probably do it again. Now that I got the process, I gotta do it nice and slowly. But I'll probably definitely do it again, and just take my time again with it and everything. I mean, I was able to cut it with the hole saw, so I'll probably do the cutting here. I won't let them do the cutting, because that's a long process. They take a while to cut it. But like I said, I could do this, get the plexi at home, and have my own overlays. I think it came out pretty good. Alright, so we'll put this on the controller board, and I'll come back and show you guys how it came out. Be right back. Okay, so this is the ARCADE1UP control panel that I did for my friend. They went with the red and white buttons. They got the red ball, red buttons, white ball, white buttons. This is just something I did for my friend that he wanted to get done. Forgive me, this is my first time using my iPhone for video. I bet the quality is gonna be better than all my other videos. But this is the one with the plexi. Plexi came out nice. It's holding nice. There's no cracks, no nothing. Let me start it up so you can see what it looks like lit up. It's pretty nice. Like I said, he went for the red and white buttons. Oh, main buttons on. There you go. Got the amp kicking in. Looks really good. I like that white. That white pops. Really nice. The red, not so much. It's pretty darkish, but it is pretty nice. Got the red right here. Coin. R2 down there. Got the amp. Still got the plastic on there. I left it on there because when we deliver it, when he comes to pick it up, I don't want to show the screen. Well, I'll show the screen. The screen looks like it's messed up, but it's not. I had to remove the stop sticker on there so I could able to, program the controls, but I left the plastic on so that, as I'm moving it around, there's no scratching or anything on the monitor. He can peel the rest of it off when he gets home and the kids are gonna play. But that's it. I mean, for my first try at plexiglass, it came out pretty good. I think, I used a lot of tools to do the holes real good. I'll leave a link at the bottom of the video in the description. And it's pretty nice, kind of like it. That's it for now. Next video, just look out for the next video. Leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Bye.